And welcome to the Utica Curling Club YouTube channel, and we're bringing to you this morning Draw 9 of the GNCC Mixed Doubles Championship, an inaugural event for the GNCC held in Utica this year. And this is the last of our pool play games, and we'll be bringing you this morning a game between Cape Cod, Emma Larry and William Gerlach, and Utica, Melissa Foote and Eric Crumme. Just underway here at the club in this last pool play draw. The game we're bringing you is two undefeated teams in Pool C, and they'll be playing for one of the top 3 seeds in the championship playoff round. 24 teams here at the Utica Curling Club for this inaugural event. I'm Roger Roulette, and I'm here with Mary Jane Walsh to bring you the action today. I'm going to try to get the correct farhouse up for you there.
We have our chat room up and running for this draw. We've been streaming unattended so far because we're also participating, but we have a break in the action. So send us your questions. Mixed doubles is relatively new. If you have questions about how it works, drop us a line. We'll try to answer your questions in between calling the action. Also on the sheet, other sheets, we've got Utica 1 versus Bucks County, Utica 8 versus Broomstones, Plainfield versus
Mount Washington
Valley. Yeah, my eyes are going in my old age.
And the format of this event this year is we have 3 pools of 8 teams. Each of those teams will play 3 games in pool play using a Schinkel format. Winners play winners, losers play losers. And after all 3 games are played in all 3 pools, the teams are reseeded. The top 8 teams will go to the championship playoff round. The next 8 teams will go to the B flight playoff, and the last 8 teams will go to the C flight playoffs. And those will all be conducted this afternoon. In the first rounds, the quarterfinals. For those of you new to the discipline of mixed doubles, there are 2 stationary rocks in play at the beginning of each end. There will be a total of 5 rocks thrown by each team. One player will throw the first and last rocks. The other player will throw the middle 3. And no rock can be removed from play until the 4th stone delivered in the end. It's a fast-paced game. Games can normally be played in about 90 minutes. 8 ends of play. Nice draw tap there by Eric Crumma to eliminate one of the red stones from counting, but Cape Cod playing the red stones does sit one. Has a chance to put another stone in play for shot. Emma Leary with her last stone here in the first end. One more to come. And this one was just a little light, not going to make it over. So now a chance for Melissa Foote to draw a stone on top of that shot stone, maybe push it back a couple inches. Get shot rock here. Cape Cod will have the last stone here in the first end. So Melissa Foote looking to draw a stone on top of shot rock or even tap it back a little, just a hair. Either hold Cape Cod to one, possibly set up a steal. Stone came up light as well, but it does cut off the draw path to shot stone.
So Cape Cod will come around wide. They just need a good solid piece of the forefoot. It's never easy in the first end. You're trying to figure out the ice, you're trying to figure out the weight, and this is probably a new path.
Yeah, that was not a bad result by Melissa Foote guarding that draw path, so they will force Cape Cod out wide here and guess the weight here in the first end. William Gerlach, last stone, first end. Sweeping hard to get it by. If they get it by, they may have a shot here. Oh, it just didn't curl up enough.
Looks like it might have had just a touch too much weight.
Had to sweep to get it by.
Absolutely.
And that weight was just too much to keep it on the forefoot. So a score of one here in the first end for Cape Cod.
A force is good anytime in curling, and it's even better in mixed doubles, where it's not uncommon to see lots of crooked numbers, as we're wont to say.
Yeah, it can be a high-scoring game. If you don't clear that center guard art, that's your first opportunity of trouble.
As you can see, no officials for this championship. Players put up their own rocks. Typically, the team that that has hammer puts them up so that the other team can get right in the hack and get ready to throw their first rock and keep the game moving along. Must have been another fresh bath.
Yeah, second draw on this ice today, so it might be just a little slow here in the first end. Melissa Foot with her first here this end. This one looks a little toasty. Played this end, played this side of the sheet all first end, so this is a bit quicker. That one's going to go right to the back. Now Emma Larry with the first of her 3 middle rocks for Cape Cod here in the second end. Trying to get one top 4, top button. Line looks really good here if it got to weight, but again, just coming up a bit short on this fresh side.
Yeah, it was a 15.5 hog to hog.
So it's probably not that slow, probably about 14-2, right? 14-2 to T-line.
But they're playing down the other side. They haven't played before in order to even out the 2 different sides of the sheet. That way, when you get caught later in a game and you have to make a really crucial shot, you're not guessing at the weight or the line.
Yeah, a chance for Eric Crumme. Stick a third one in a bit higher, and this one's also heavy, so high speed is picked up considerably on this played side, and that'll actually remove a rock. So again, now a chance for Cape Cod to lock a freeze onto that Eric Crumme stone. Get out of trouble here in this end. Mixed doubles is all about rock positioning, angles. You don't generally throw a lot of hits except to jam some rocks out of play for a big score or clear the middle out if you're in trouble. Tend to play a lot of taps and bumps and freezes.
And it's excellent training for those of you out there thinking about trying this wonderful discipline. It's excellent training for getting your draw weight under control. You have your draw weight, you usually do very well. You don't, you're not going to.
Real good speed on this one. It's not curling yet. Starting to come now.
Nice line.
And
nice
that
weight.
That rock's in a very good position. It's above shot stone.
Melissa's calling for a fairly conservative approach. She wants to guard what they've got here and then see what they can do on the other side.
Yeah, Cape Cod's taking control of this intern side. So to prevent the tap up, Eric Crumme is just going to throw a guard over this. So we'll leave the outturn side, though, open for a draw. Cape Cod can take control of the other side of the sheet. Should be plenty of swing here to get shot rock. Might have a hard time getting by their own on the top 4.
One thing we should probably state is we are 2 sheets over, or 1 sheet over, so we are not sitting directly behind this game. And as much as everybody else out there and streaming Curling Land, we're watching on the monitors for line.
Just looking to bring a stone in behind, and that would pretty much lock out Utica from scoring a deuce here. Better speed on this.
Good correction. Their last one was down the faster side.
Yeah, and this is going to run.
Wow.
A little bit overbaked. So the ice picked up really quickly. And they'll have to take this back so the other team can't use it, although they still could later in the end. Looking to draw in top house here, something to be tapped up later. If you get some good curl here, you could bring this onto the forefoot to lie two.
This one's sliding. Coming down.
They like the line, starting to come down. Again, this side of the sheet is a bit slower. And that's a tappable stone. Didn't oversweep that and bring it under the guard, and then it would not be usable. Looks like Cape Cod's going to go with the in-turn come around.
Tap up their own.
Just didn't take enough ice. The weight was pretty good. Now a chance to draw a piece of the four for Melissa Foote. Grab a deuce here in the second end.
Looking at that weight, they may be tapping, not or hitting, not drawing.
Last rock, second end. And the other way to get two would be to come off the red one in the back, but that one just sailed wide and heavy. So score of 1 for Utica in the second end, all tied up, 1-1 after 2.
Take a tour of the other sheets. Sheet 3 is towards the end of the second end, but they have not hung the score for the first, so we can't update you there. Sheet 4, Broomstones took 1 in the first. So they lead Utica 8 by 1. And on sheet 5, Mount Washington Valley took 1 in the first. So a lot of ones being posted today. Our sheet is a little ahead of everybody else. They're playing in a nice, efficient manner. Not sure if it was intentional, but that opens up the center. And given that they have the hammer, if it was a miss, it was a good miss.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt you at all. In mixed doubles as well as in team curling.
One of the fascinating things about commentating on a mixed doubles game is because our players aren't mic'd, we can only hear ambient noise in the shed and try to catch an idea of what they're doing. You may notice that there's not a lot of putting the broom down and tapping where you want the rock to show up. The players are communicating that all verbally.
Yeah, one of the tough spots, tough things about broadcasting mixed doubles games is you often don't exactly know what the players have called.
Nice controlled weight takeout.
Left to double back though. Just about 2/3 of a rock should get them both. Get the rock there, should be able to get both. Good miss here would be to hit and roll over in front of that rock, shot rock on the back four. Want to make sure you get rid of one here. And right on the nose, Utica sits one. Looks like Cape Cod's probably two. Cape Cod would probably love to hit and roll away here, but you can't because of the jam, so they might have to hit and roll under. Or just sit on the nose again. Be a little bit steeper angle this time.
For the double.
Coming at this from the intern side. So curl hard once it gets over the center line. Sweeping it really furiously to hold the line. Just a little soft. They're holding the line though. Probably hack weight there, right on the nose, pushes it through. That's actually a good spot for that stone.
That's a great sweep.
Really good holding that line with William Gerlach. The double's a little easier now. A little bit steeper angle. Should be able to keep the shooter. And if Eric hits this, they won't be shot if they nose it. They're looking for the slash double here. And about 2/3, 3/4 of this rock.
That's got a lot of traveling to do.
Coming in, looks like it may jam. And it does. And it's hidden right behind the blue stone on the left. Could play a short run on that to get rid of the Cape Cod stone with her next. So Cape Cod has a decision to make whether they're covering that or freezing to that stone to cut off the run back.
Have to be a perfect freeze or a run doubles.
Well, if you cover half the stone, you're in good shape, I think. Anywhere along the draw path where you cover half the stone, if you just cover, say, the inner half, you'll probably be okay.
Sorry, I misunderstood you. Thought you were talking about a freeze to their own. It would be very difficult.
I think you freeze to the top one.
Yes.
Or just cover it. They'd love to be frozen like right there. Would be a really great spot.
Mission accomplished.
Yep, covered the outer half, but that's good enough. There's no double there. So Cape Cod with shot rock in the back four. Well covered. And got themselves set up for a deuce. Essentially forced Utica to play the freeze to the shot rock, which is a very difficult shot, as Utica's got nowhere to hide, really. That's where Utica would like to be. Tough, though. You got to get around this guard. Well, you got to get around this stone on the top four. Even if the Utica stone is placed here, it'll be very difficult to remove. Last rock for Utica here in the third end. Looking to put a rock in a fairly inconvenient position here on the top four. The line is really good if they've got the weight. And lost the handle. Lost rotation. Now it's just a draw for two. Very unfortunate for Melissa Foote. That rock looked like it was coming in very nicely. Maybe just a bit of a light handle.
You know, she doesn't, having played with Melissa on many occasions, she doesn't typically throw one. But every once in a while, we all do.
Last rock, third end. Wim Gerlach looking to draw for 2.
It may be a little hot. 13-6.
Yeah, I think they were going early for the tick, and they probably still had it if they'd kept on it. I think Emma realized early it might be heavy and was going for the tick, and then they thought they lost it. And so only a score of 1 for Cape Cod, a missed opportunity there in the third end. They take a 2-1 lead after 3.
Looking across the sheets, 1 seemed to be the popular number so far. Every team has been forced or has stolen 1 in the first 2 ends. First 3 ends, in many cases.
Except for sheet 2, where Bucks County did grab a deuce in the first end of play and stole 1 in the second. And they lead 3-0 over Howie Feldman and Michelle McEnroe. That's Kristen Derrick Keister from Bucks County.
Well, Cape Cod has chosen with their choice to... I'm sorry. Utica, with their choice, has chosen to throw the power play.
Bit early in the game, I think.
Sometimes you do it to shake things up, but yeah, I'd have to agree. And that rock is just curling. A little light.
And there's several ways you can play against the power play. One is to do what Cape Cod just did, which is to throw the freeze onto the shot stone. That's strategy 1. Neutralize the stationary stone in the power play that's around the wings. You get to do this once per game in mixed doubles, and I can't do it at an extra end. You can only do it when you have the choice of stone placement.
It looks like Melissa overcorrected.
And threw one through, and then
for
she was
Anna's short one.
Yeah, she was trying to draw around the corner. Your basic strategies against the power play are either to freeze against that stationary stone at the edge of the 8-foot. The other one is to tick away the corner guard, push your guard into the rings, and remove your shooter and open up shot rock.
And we typically choose the strategy based on what the score is, correct?
Yep. So those would be the strategies if you're defending a lead. If you're behind, you would throw a center guard. And if you're ahead, you might also just throw one right into the house. There's 4 basic ways you can play against the power play placement of stones. Each team gets to do that once per game when they have choice, which is usually when they choose to have the last stone advantage. And it cannot be used in the extra end. So again, another heavy stone right down the middle here. So neither team finding the right weight down this particular line. One of the challenges in mixed doubles is in the power play, you never really play up the middle the entire game. And so that pebble can be fresh, or the center of the sheet can be worn down, so you're always guessing on the weight a little bit. Unlike a regular curling game where you might play pretty much all portions of the sheet throughout the first few ends. In mixed doubles, you almost never come up the middle.
I suppose that's one advantage of choosing to throw the power play this early in the game, is that the pebble is close to what you've got going either way. You got a 14 there. It's still a bit heavy.
That one's in the ring, so at least they're sitting 2 now. I think Cape Cod here is looking at clearing off those corner guards to open the house up to prevent the power play from generating more than 2 here. You use the power play, you definitely want to score a multiple. It's your one chance during the game to draw a play around, away from the center and generate an open house where you can split rocks. So you hate to come away with only one.
Again,
and they get rid of one, but they do leave one corner guard in play for Utica. So now a chance for Utica to split the house and lie 3. Couple choices here. Either go around your corner. You could split the house, go the other way. I'm not sure I like this call. They want to guard the rock in the back 8, and I think I would just let that one be.
This looks like it may be down to it regardless.
Yeah, this is quite hot. Last thing you want is a pocket back there. If it's not at the back 12, I'd certainly take it there, but I think it's on its own.
On its own.
Okay, so that doesn't really hurt, and it is another counter. Nice thing about splitting the house there, if you went 8 foot the other side, you're really forcing Cape Cod to chase you out there. And they can't play around your corners. And they can't freeze to that stationary stone to outcount it for shot or second shot. So Cape Cod now facing 3 counters by the Utica team. They need to make something happen here. Not sure if they're playing the freeze or the tap back here. Looks like a freeze from the weight. And this has got enough weight to tap a stone out if it makes contact. And it just ran real straight on him, so that's going to flash right by. And a really good chance now for Utica to set up a big end. I still think the money shot is to go to the other side.
It's a very conservative approach they're taking, although, to be honest, you know, invite them to chase you, hit, hit, hit.
Well, the trouble with guarding a rock behind T-line is they come around your guard and freeze to it, and then they take the whole end away from you.
Well, they still haven't gotten guard weight, so we're going to pump
another one. This was curling hard. This was going to come over to the stationary stone, I think.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even pass.
And that's actually a pretty good spot. I like that spot. That would be the only other alternative to splitting the house. And now Cape Cod's really forced to freeze on something in the back of the house. That stone in the back 8's actually a liability right now. It's a good freeze target. If Utica could just pick up that stone and move it away, they would. This freeze has got to be pretty good. If it's a little bit off center, should be possible to blast it out.
And both those Utica players have good, solid hit weight.
Yeah, it should be no problem if they can find the right line. And they're getting some curl on this one.
Yeah.
Is it going to over curl? That's the question. The line looks pretty good. Now it's going to go right through the hole. Started to over curl.
It'll come to their. No, gosh, it even slides through.
The weight came off and went sideways. And now Utica's still sitting 4. As that stone slides to the back of the rings, and I believe it's very close from our vantage point. I'm looking right down the edge of the rocks. It may only be 3. They might have got a little break there.
Well, this should be a little dipsy doodle there by last rock thrower Melissa Foote, keeping us all on our edge of our seats. So, in essence, a wide open draw for at least 4.
Yep, just need to be full in the 12-foot. We have a pretty good angle on those 2 stones in the back here from our webcast booth, but it's actually hard to tell from here. It looks like it might be red. So this may be just a draw for 4.
Ooh, it's hot.
I'll tell you what, if you come down to the red stone and tap it out, it's
back,
5.
Yeah. And
this weight looks really good.
Maybe what they end up doing. Or
they're coming to their own. And that'll be fine. That's at least 4. Now we just got to wait for the measure on the last 2 there.
Yep.
They're kicking them, so they know what it is.
Now they'll let us in on it.
A big score for Utica, using the power play early in this game, and successfully. Took a bit of a gamble running that early in the game, but they used it to establish a commanding lead.
Although I'm not sure there is such a thing as a commanding lead in mixed doubles. Especially when you're playing against a really good team.
Well, it is possible to generate big scores in mixed doubles, but if you keep yourself out of trouble by some opportune peeling, it should be possible to defend the lead in mixed doubles.
It should be. We've seen a lot of swings and comebacks over this Bonspiel. A lot of really good teams here.
So Utica 1 bounced back with a big 5 in the 3rd end to take a 5-3 lead over Bucks County after giving up a deuce and a steal.
Nice start for Team Utica on sheet 2. And now, the moment of truth. Assuming they remember to hang the score. It was 5.
Wow! Nice shot, Israel.
Nice freeze by Utica on their first stone. Neutralize that stationary stone in the back of the rings. Now a chance to bring one on top 4 top button. This one's warping in very nicely. Cape Cod's now got some work to do. to get right on top of shot stone. This one's over curling.
Looked like the weight would have been good, too.
Weight was fairly close, maybe just not quite enough ice on that shot. Cape Cod with a chance here to lock onto shot stone. Looks like with this weight, they're just looking to maybe splatter them a little bit. And that's going to hang wide. It's going to catch the corner guard. I think they were just looking to unlock those two stones on the button and back four. Maybe a little too much weight. Certainly wide. Guard attempt over curled a little bit, but probably shuts out any kind of heavyweight shot. Key for Cape Cod is they need to unlock those two stones because the stone on the back button is just not going anywhere. They could come in here, sit and move this one back just a little bit to unlock it. Then they'd have a chance to score multiple ends. So they're going to try the little draw tap here to unlock those two stones and give themselves a chance. They'll force Utica to throw a guard. And they'll have a couple ways in. They can jam in the red stones from the left, or they'll be able to throw the tap again from the right-hand side. So Emma Leary with her little tap back attempt here. Line looks really good. They're by the first one. Make sure they're by the second one. And that's going to unlock them. And that's very nice. Now Cape Cod has got two ways in. Cape Cod can either draw one in now, tap this back for multiple, or they can try a little heavier weight shot and just try to nick this stone and jam it in and remove the stone that way.
I'm assuming that Utica either will try to put another one in there to make both those shots more difficult, or guard.
Utica's got to
They've
draw
got
one
to
to the
go
pocket.
there,
Got to put one right in the pocket.
knowing Melissa's previous calls for guards. They were looking at the house, so don't think they'll be guarding this time.
I think you want to put this one right in. You can come off the red stone on the right if you have to. Catch it on the inside. Get a nice roll onto the pin.
See if we can get a sheet time for us.
Last rock here in the fifth end for Melissa Foote. Just looking to draw into the pocket. And this one is
got herself wide.
pretty wide, but it is coming in.
Weight's not bad. 13.6.
13.6 should put it in the pocket.
You can do the
And
just a
that's
little
perfect.
heavy. Nope.
Not bad.
Great
Yeah.
push sweeping from her partner, Eric Crumme.
And it was really hard. Not much way to get that stone out of play. This shot rock is now pretty much jailed in. So you can't jam it out this way because that's got that backer behind it. And you can't jam it out this way because you got that backer behind it. I'm not sure you can move it far enough to get shot here. You can move it, but not very far.
Question is, if you come with big weight.
Well, you can't because it's behind the guard. So
Yes, we do tend to forget about those guards when we're looking at the.
I mean, you can only see maybe the outside half, but you have to go through your red rock to get to it. So
Getting to the inside of that with weight is.
I don't think there's harm in trying. You don't want to disturb your second stone and give up a steal of 2. Last rock fifth end for William Gerlach for Cape Cod.
That's got curling to do.
Don't think it's going to change anything.
No.
And it did not. It'll be a steal of 1 for Utica. And they take a 7-2 lead after 5 ends of play.
We'll update the scoreboard for you here. All right, so Cape Cod's going to choose their power play option now.
Yeah, it's 6 end. Don't want to go to bed with that. So time to roll it out. They're down 5, so good time to generate some offense with the power play. And Utica's preferring to play this freeze defense against the power play, just a little bit heavy. Goes through the rings. Now a free opportunity now for Cape Cod to loop another one around the corner. Looking at splitting the house, that's usually only a guarantee of 2. I think if you want your 3, you got to go around the corner.
And remember, nobody can hit anything until the 4th thrown rock.
So even if you leave this one short, it can't be removed from play. It can be tapped back. So this is a free opportunity to bury 2 around the corner. So they did finally readjust and decide to go around the corner, but this one's also sailing. This is really quick.
And again, that center line problem. No, they did not.
They're splitting.
They're splitting.
You freeze to one or the other. I like freezing around the one behind the corner. Gives you a little more cover. And you don't have to be frozen, you just have to be above it and about half underneath.
This looks hot again.
It looks like a little better weight. It's not slow, that's for sure. Not curling.
Nope.
And again, that one's going to sail back as well. And now Cape Cod is in business. Turnabout's fair play. This looks like a replay of the end. When Utica played in the 3rd, or in the 4th end, rather.
There were a lot of deep rocks in that end also. People struggling with finding the right weight down that center line.
And that middle path may still be quick.
See if Anna can correct the weight for everyone.
So Emma Larry with her second stone looking to come around the corner. And this one's going to go T-line or better as well.
We're getting there. That's a 14-second hog to hog.
Now Utica needs to freeze with one of their last few stones here. Eric Crumma looking to freeze to that stone just thrown. This one looks warm as well.
And it needs to curl
They were
up.
sweeping for line a little bit, I think. Does get shot rock, taps back the Cape Cod rock. They're going to try to chip that out. I have a couple choices here. I kind of like hitting and rolling underneath here. The other option they have is to roll open and squirt this through the hole. Can't play both, though. You got to decide on one or the other. We'll see which one they're thinking of playing. Coming outside in on this and just got it way out there. A little bit of a funny release. Turned it a little bit sideways and left Utica shot rock and actually rolled enough to partially cover it. So now a chance for Utica to stick another one in. I would stick one in right behind the guard. I wouldn't guard. I would come right in, sit 1 and 2. Right around here, top 8 would be pretty good. Christmas tree, this is where you want the Christmas tree. Let's diagram it up. Right in here would be just dandy. You want to half cover this rock and you want to be half poking out behind that rock so that you can only remove, you can't even remove either rock really. This one would jam.
Mm-hmm. All day long.
All day long. I think you really want to outcount at least one of those Cape Cod rocks with this stone.
Yeah, I think Melissa had called for the guard, and Eric must be questioning it since there was a bit of a discussion down there.
A lot of reds in play. I think you need a second blue in the ring.
Absolutely. This one's got weight again. Oh, they're going for the other one. It's just not moving. Oh, here it comes. Well, so much for my ability to judge weight from upstairs. It lost its handle.
Yeah, left a little bit of a hole.
Sure did.
Not sure it's big enough. But with him having one more stone to throw, it might be worth coming through. And at least you open it up and give William a chance to make a big score with his last shot. I don't think this is their last, right? They've got one more to go.
No, he throws last. He throws first and last.
Not sure what they decided on, but I think you got to try to chase that blue rock off. Even if you open it up here, give yourself a chance. That'll force Utica to throw another one in the rings to sit 1 and 2. Have to make Utica throw their shot for sure.
And they're going for the hit.
Yeah, if you peel that blue guard off, I think you're still good here.
Yeah, which may be what they're doing. They're right on center. Oh, here she comes. Not enough, though.
But that's a good miss. They moved the blue one off the ring. Move the blue guard off. So they open up shot rock. And they're sitting second, third, and fourth. So mission accomplished. So Utica's got to put a second one on the rings or throw a perfect guard here. You could even freeze to your own, wouldn't be the worst. Again, I think top 8 Christmas tree right in there is just golden.
Either that or freeze to the red on the other side.
Yeah, I don't like leaving that stone open on the back.
I don't.
Back four. That's your shot stone. I think you do want to put one in front of it. You just don't want to put it where they can double it off.
Looks like they're going to try to throw the guard again.
If you get good line here, the guard is fine.
Force them to draw for one.
And if you get halfway around full 8 foot, I think you're forcing them into a draw against 2.
Oh, man. A very large score on sheet 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ender. It's not a bad position. You could, you could double those. It needed to be buried a little more.
Very tough double. They'll have to get around. Well, I don't. It is a very tough double. They have to get all the way around that stone. The trouble is the stone on the back 4 has got a lot of jammers behind it. So nose or hitting all you can see on the stone will not be enough.
You'd have to cross over a little, and that would be tough. There is room. There's about 6, 7 feet.
Here we go. If you hit all you can see here, I think, unfortunately, that's going to jam in the back. If you could somehow hit this on the inside, you could split these through.
And Cape Cod has not given up on a big score. They think they're coming around the outside. I don't think they're drawing.
They can come off their own. They can come off their own, and this is what they're looking at. They're looking at the in off their own to get rid of this. They've got to move the blue stone all the way across the house, though. Tough shot. Hoping to get 2 out of this. Doesn't look like a lot of weight, though.
Oh, he may be on the red guard already. He is. Well, raise the red guard into the house.
And that'll be a steal of 1 on the power play.
Good try. That was a go big.
Utica now leads 8-2 after 6 ends.
I think one of the things that has fascinated me about this Bonspiel or championship is the variety of approaches that people take for delivery and sweeping. Where you see people sweeping on sliders, we see people delivering, hopping up and sweeping their own rocks. We see people spot curling, like Melissa is doing right now, with stabilizers. We've got knee sliders. It's the whole spectrum of curling. Nice position.
Yeah, good shot by Melissa Foote. Going top 4, controlling approach to the button area. Yeah, they brought that a little deep. Left a pocket now for Eric Crummett to draw to. Not sure which was worse, leaving that on the side of the 4-foot or taking it back to where they did.
Sometimes there's nothing but bad options.
But now a chance for Eric Crummett to lock one on those back 2 stones and neutralize them. They are shot, so there's that.
Yep, and he came up a little light also.
Yeah, a little light and over curled. So now
leaves it open for Cape Cod to pump another one in there.
got to be careful though, because those 2 blue stones are lined up.
Lined up behind a guard.
You can see about a half a rock though on the outturn side, so.
True, we're not talking about takeouts here. We're just talking about raising.
Yeah, just need to move it not even a foot, 6 inches for a shot. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Cape Cod noodled off the blue stone closest to the pin and just changed the angles up a little bit.
$14.7. Left it a little light.
Good position though.
Yes.
That's a tappable stone. But now a chance for Eric Crummett to play just a little tap on his 2 blues. Really just needs to tap it anywhere.
Basically talking T-line weight here.
Yeah, T-line back 4 weight. Got to move a couple stones.
Well, okay.
So I think a back 4 weight would be good. If you threw back 8, it wouldn't hurt. You got a catcher back there.
But you got the curl to get around.
Just want to throw enough weight to move those two stones when you're hitting that top stone on a little bit of an angle. I think a little heavier than lighter would be good. Just needs to sneak by. This one's out pretty wide.
It's got all the weight it needs.
Coming in nice now. And they have enough of the stone. This should work out really nicely. It's going to go right back in the pocket. Yep. Beautiful. Lined up nicely. All you do is hit it with some weight.
Yep, plenty of weight.
Now the button area is still open, but it's hard to get to. That stone sitting just at the top 4 is just a thorn in the draw path.
Yep. Ooh, this is going to be on the top blue.
Just squeaked by, but it's going to catch the blue on the 4-foot area. No, won't even get there. Right now, Utica's hitting with a stolen point locked in the back 4. Not too many ways at it.
I don't know if they've called for the guard or if they're trying to come around and get another one in there.
I think they're looking to cover the draw path and
maybe a tight touch narrow.
Get over curled a hair.
Well, certainly.
The angle is fairly poor for Cape Cod, though. They're kind of running out of options. I think they're going to have to get that stone off the top 4. That blue stone on the top 4 is a problem. They need to run the red one in and open up a draw path. Probably should have done that last time.
One of the problems is you get sucked into the draw game so deep that you forget you can open up the middle.
Yeah, in mixed doubles, you got to make that decision early, too,
Exactly.
because you've only got 5 stones. I think if you wait to your second player's second rock, it's almost too late. I think once the other team gets a jump on you with rock positioning, you've got to consider opening it up and ensuring you can at least get your 1. Of course, Cape Cod is down big, so they have to gamble a little bit. Larry looking to open up some space here for a draw. A little bit of panic early. This is going to work out fine. Now there's a red stone where you need it to be. Still tough to get even your 1 here, though. They need to get a stone on the pin, and the tap on that red is very difficult. Because you need to hit you have to hit everything you can see.
Let's bring up the full 4 house while they're doing their discussions.
To get this stone on the pin, you have to hit everything you can see here. You got to get to here, which means you got to skinny that guard in order to tap that up to the pin. This blue stone's going nowhere. It's hard to get it out of play.
It does provide a nice backer for either team to use.
If you could hit this on the nose, you might have a chance. If you could hit it there, you would lose the shooter. You would lose that. And you would lose this. And you're hoping this will go out the side, but I think it'll jam there, even if you had that much power. I just don't think you can get this blue stone out. It just has nowhere to go.
One of the things I like about William is he does not overthrow his hits. He has nice, controllable weight. Not everything has to be a bomb. At least that's what we've seen so far.
I think Melissa Foote could end the mystery here just by covering any potential raise on that red stone. Haven't offered to sweep it yet. Now a little bit.
Line only. That's why.
Looking for some line. Oh, they're going to go around. Just got out wide. Well, they made it impossible for them to raise the red now, so they're going to be forced into this outturn draw, and that'll be very difficult to get enough curl. And this draw looks almost impossible. Angles are not good for Cape Cod. I think they're looking to sneak through the hole and try to tap up their red stone to the pin. And that'll be a tall order. Last stone, 7th end for Cape Cod. And just those angles didn't work for them, so it's another steal of 1 for Utica. They take a 9-2 lead after 7. So that's the ball game. Not sure why they're throwing rocks, because they're out of rocks. We're going to cut over coverage to another game. This game is over because Cape Cod is out of stones here. You can only score 6 in mixed doubles, so they're down 7. We're going to cut you over to sheet 5 and finish out this broadcast.
Okay, and on sheet 5, we have Mount Washington Valley, Sherry Marceau. Sorry, Sherry, if I'm destroying that last name, and Paul Valley. And we have our team from Plainfield, Yevgeny Pazdersak and Eugenie Stadnik. Sorry, guys. I can get the first names. Last names are a bit of a mouthful. Absolutely delightful team from Plainfield. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Rogers had to go down to the ice for a minute. And we've got Plainfield with Hammer in 6th, or with choice, I guess I technically should say. Throwing the blue rocks. And we've got the wrong house showing. And of course, my technical advisor, I just lost. But it appears they are at least sitting shot rock. Yes, definitely shot rock. And possibly 3rd. A nice draw in behind the red. These are a team of new players, not just new to mixed doubles, but brand new. Yevgeny's curled for a little over a year, and Elena just under a year. So this is a really great experience for them. Now, Paul Valley's throwing with his stick. This is brand new for him. He's just recently started to do this, I believe, due to an injury. So, having thrown with his stick myself for half a year, very difficult to develop draw weight with it until you've had a chance to play a little bit. But boy, can you throw hits. Not bad. Coming right in, just got by the quote guard in the top 12 and locked it on. Yeah, Gedney obviously got a little wide on that one. And of course that affects the weight. Good scrub by the two sweepers to get it into the house. Okay, last rock coming from Mount Washington Valley. One assumes they're going to try to protect their shot that's on the back four. That's the placed rock. Well, obviously got a little wide, or maybe they took too much ice, or I just misunderstood the call. So they're going to bring another one in and try to sit three if it's got the legs. It does. Well, apparently that was... obviously much earlier in the end than I had realized. Paul Valley must throw first and last rocks rather than the middle three. Alright, so Yevgeny removes one of the red rocks in play, move all the other ones around. I actually don't mind this position for Mount Washington Valley. Their rock in the top 8 is well guarded, and it's guarding one that's possibly biting the button back there. Nope, that's second, or third rather. So now they're going to try to guard their shot rock on the back. That's just biting back 4. Well, that's got some weight to it. And it needs to curl. So Sherry's trying to encourage it to do so. See if she can get one over. Well, Another few feet would have been great. She would have been able to prevent the run back. But she certainly closed that hole. Ooh. Oh, they just needed it. They're going to get it, but they just needed to. Ooh, nice. Very nice. So they've rearranged the deck chairs back there. And what we've got is now blue sitting shot. And partially guarded by that red in the top 8. So it looks like Mount Washington Valley is going to try to raise their own in. They can either use just enough weight to get it to the button, or actually try to take out that blue and take 3. And sorry for the bouncy camera. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Oh, that's apparently me. Rock underway. And well wide of what they needed.
I'm going to start sorting the boards for the next draw. We don't know yet. Well, we know some that are guaranteed. I don't know where they'll be, but I'm going to start taking them out of where they are currently.
All right, so the question remains, what will Yevgeny and Eugenie do with their last rock? They're sitting 1. Thing about Mount Washington Valley will probably have to try that same shot. Their other alternative would be to run the blue onto the red and tap it back, but you never want to run your opponent's shots in unless you absolutely have to, and it's a long run back. Still some discussion in the hack as to what to do. And indeed, after all that discussion, they decided to try to guard that red and overcrolled and went by. Yeah, it looks like Mount Washington Valley's looking at that blue under red. Raise. They have a choice between two equally long run backs, either to raise their red on or to take out that blue that's sitting in the back four. And it looks like they may have chosen the red onto blue option. Just a little wide. Can we get it the other way? No, we cannot. So steal a 1 for Plainfield. This is not a bad position for Mount Washington Valley to be in. Coming home, they're only down 1, but they've got the hammer. Do not know if they've taken, they must have already chosen their power play, or they don't like it because we're going for the regular setup. Once they get the color straightened out. So Plainfield's job here is to give up no more than 1 to force the extra, where they will have hammer and hopefully steal. Now Washington, conversely, must take their 1. Good start for Plainfield. And pardon our scraper, we have to fit a scrape in between these two draws. So the ice crew will get to work as these last two games are running long. The game on sheet 4 is already a final. Broomstones will take that in a handily fashion. Another nice draw from Plainfield. A little short. Let's see if we can tell who is Shot Rock here. Looks like it's still Mount Washington Valley. Our cameras are not directly over the button, so camera angles can deceive, but that looks pretty clear. But Blue is in a very nice position to tap up with their next one, so Mount Washington Valley has a decision to make. Will they start trying to remove blue rocks? Or guard what they have? And then the sounds like we're throwing a hit from what little we can overhear, and obviously from the broom. No, this one's not going to come back enough to help them. Big swing, though. Wow. Especially with that weight. Plainfield can tap up that blue. Mount Washington Valley will be in a world of hurting. And this side seems that people like to throw it wide. Not getting enough curl. They don't want to bring this in and close off that draw path, and they may just have. Another long discussion. Mount Washington Valley needs a way to get in there to score 2 if they want to win it in this end, not go to an extra. We must be looking at 2 inexperienced mixed doubles teams and taking a very long time to make the decisions. But Willie going for the hit. Not much weight here. And did they do Plainfield's job for them? Let's take a look and see what we can see. They look like they're still sitting 1. Going to try to come through the port or raise their own onto their own. Looks like they're going for the raise, and we're out wide again. Weight was nice. Line was just off. Let's take a look what we got here. Question is, can they do anything with this rock? Can they double out the blues? As they have no other way in. Looks like they're maybe going to try drawing in this way. Indeed. Yeah. Don't like the optics from this side. The best I can guess is they're going to talk about drawing in, tapping the blue back, and rolling over into the forefoot. She doesn't like her weight, obviously. We can hear. Oh, yes. Well, Mount Washington Valley has taken away the shot that Plainfield tried to throw in their last one, which was to angle raise their blue onto their blue. Which may leave them only skinning, getting through that port. If they want to steal the game. Of course, they could choose to go for the force and go to the extra. Oh dear. Not quite sure what the call was there. Maybe red onto blue. Or perhaps they were trying to draw here, but it was way too much weight for that. Again, as we've mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's really hard to tell sometimes what the shots are. This one's pretty obvious, though. Mount Washington Valley's going for it all here. They're going to try to draw around. Grab a piece, a solid piece of the forefoot. They can see quite a bit of it. And I would say they probably don't need more than half. But again, our camera angles, yeah, they probably need a little more than half. Looking at that rock there. Got to count that one. And way wide. Looks like we're going into an extra end, folks.
Last end in play. Plainfield with the Blue Rocks will have the hammer here in the 9th end to determine the winner of this game. Yeah, nice shot right to the top 8 by Plainfield.